Hi, my name is Susan Leith. After teaching photography for 17 years at California State University, I retired in 2015 and took up photo encaustic art. Today I'm going to show you how to do a transfer of a photo on top of encaustic wax. This is a photo of a vase of flowers in a window, and the window is reflecting the building across the street. Once you've decided on a photo and edited your photo, you want to flip the picture so it's backwards, and then you want to print it on parchment paper, and you want to use a laser printer. Do not use an inkjet printer. The way you get the parchment paper into the printer is by taping your parchment paper onto a piece of copy paper. I usually tape mine about an inch down from the top. Once you've got your photo ready, you want a board. And I painted this board. It's just a plain wooden shadow box with white latex paint. And you can see I put some black around the outside just to finish it off a little. And now I'm going to coat it with encaustic medium made by R&F paints. Once it's completely covered with wax, and I like it a little bit thick, you're going to fuse it with a heat gun until it's very smooth. Make sure to use the heat gun on low and keep it moving and keep angling it. I sort of turn it to the side and go from the top, moving it the whole time I'm using it. Next, you're going to actually take your photo that's on the parchment paper and burnish the actual side, the toner side, onto the warm wax. Do not do this when the wax is hot, or it'll just make a big mush. And do not wait until it's too cold, or the paper, the parchment paper, will kind of slide and you won't get it nice and easily burnished. One thing I do is use my wrist, the inside of my wrist, and when it just feels comfortably warm, not hot, that's the right temperature. Once you've gently pressed your parchment paper into the wax, then use the back of a spoon, or in this case I'm using a burnishing tool, and just start rubbing and rubbing and rubbing until the image transfers onto the wax. And don't worry, you don't have to burnish quite as fast as it looks like I'm burnishing here. Before you remove the parchment paper, make sure that all of the image that you want to transfer has transferred. And you can see how I'm lifting it, holding it with one hand, but lifting edges. And I'm looking at the wax, and any areas that do not have toner on them, I put the parchment paper back and then I re-burnish. Also note, I did not burnish the toner all the way from the edges because I did not want a hard edge. Once you've got all the toner onto the wax, you are going to gently fuse with your heat gun. If you use too much heat, too long, too hot, you will notice that it sort of melts and wiggles around. You may want that. In this case, I don't want that. After heating the toner into the wax, you're going to put another light coat of wax on top to really get it in there and solid and secure. And you're going to fuse it one more time. Again, be careful. If you fuse it too long, too hot, it will kind of melt and run. Sometimes after I put the wax on, I notice that there's spots that I don't like or lines that show up. So I just use a clay tool, very inexpensive, and I gently scrape it away so you can't see those lines. The final step is etching and painting. I don't always etch, but I almost always paint. And I do use a manicure brush. It's got a pointy side that I can etch with and a brush side that I can paint with. And I do use R&F pigment sticks when I'm adding color. You can spread the paint around a little bit with a paper towel or your finger if you like. This is going to be wet for a little while, so you do need to give it ample time to dry. And here's my finished piece. I hope you've enjoyed this video. And if you have any questions or if you'd like more information about my book, just contact me. And thank you for watching.